of the best practice amps in the world, the Spark amp just got an upgrade. It's the Spark 2. How good is it? Let's find out. Hello and welcome to another video with me, Elmo J. Karjalainen. It's good to have you along. Today we're checking out the Spark 2 by Positive Grid. Disclaimer, right up front, Positive Grid sent this amp to me. Now, as you may or may not know, I normally buy the gear that I review, so you get an honest review, but I made an exception this time. If you want to know the details of that, I'll make a separate video that will be out next Thursday, and I'll pin it in the comments so you can check that out. But the short version is, I've liked Positive Grid's products so far, so I decided to make an exception for this one. What is the Spark 2? Well, I'm kind of assuming you know what the Spark amp is. This is an upgrade. They've done all sorts of stuff to it. It now features 8 preset banks that you can store sounds in. You can migrate your old sounds from the old Spark to the new Spark with the app. They've slightly angled the speakers so that you get a bigger stereo sound. More memory so they can in the future add more amps and pedals. The modeling is better according to Positive Grid. What you heard in the beginning there was just a backing track played from the app via the amp and just me jamming along to that. The backing track is linked in the description. I'll also compare it real quickly to the Spark Mini, which is probably my favorite practice amp in the world. At the moment, at least. Yes, even better than the Microcube. So, here we have the Spark amp. It has knobs on top, but still, I feel it's pretty much a set and forget thing. So you program the sounds in the app and you can switch between them, and that's pretty much that. You can do something like, I have a clean sound here with delay. So it has the delay knob here. You can turn down the delay, which is handy. But mostly it's just set and forget. It has a looper, by the way, now I forgot that, yeah. Which for me doesn't really interest me. But it's a big deal for a lot of people. So here's a Fender Type Clean. Then you can add your delay or whatever. Let's add delay. Turn it on. We can add some reverb. Ambient reverb. Ooh. And then you just program it by pressing down and holding. It's really simple. Slightly more high gain thing. So I pre-programmed 7 or 8, but one is basically the same thing twice. So this is some kind of 5150 type thing. Let's remove everything. That's the amp. Turn on the overdrive. Then we have a Mesa Boogie type thing. Can add an overdrive to that. tube buddy. There's a compressor here for some reason. Let's turn that off.
Then we can go to the second bank, which features something that I've done, which is an ambient type thing. Can switch the amp to something else because this is a blackface type thing. Lux Reverb. Lux Verb. AC30 type thing. You can turn off the overdrive. And then we have my go-to kind of Marshall type thing with an overdrive and delay. Probably a bit too much of everything. Now there's other stuff you can do here as well. You could add an EQ or a modulation to boost something or take something out with the EQ. Ditch the overdrive and the Marshall sounds like this. That sounds so good. Yes.
Then it has the Smart Jam thing, which I did with the old Spark 1. I tried it with this one as well. I don't think it works quite very well, but you do have Quick Jam stuff like... I think these sound, I'll be honest, I think these sound bad. But you do get the option of streaming stuff from YouTube and backing tracks and stuff like that. And like I said, the Spark Jam doesn't really work in my opinion, or sorry, Smart Jam. Then they say that there's going to be AI, which will make sounds for you when you provide a description. That's not available yet, it seems. But yeah, let me just hook up the Spark Mini and see how it compares to this. So here I have the Spark Mini with essentially the same sound. Or the ambient one. So, what's the verdict? Well, before I get to the verdict, I have to say this. When I was contacted by Positive Grid if I want to do this video, and I agreed to it, one of the conditions I had was that I would be honest. And I even said that in an email. So, that being said, they've been really kind and they've sent me an amp, free of charge. So maybe you should take my words with a bit more of a pinch of salt than normally. You always take everyone's words with a pinch of salt, even mine. Because your tastes might differ from mine. I might just be plain outright wrong. Forgot to mention that it costs $299 and it's on sale for $259 early bird thingy, which is a very reasonable price for something like that. But my honest opinion is, I think it's great. It sounds brilliant. I'm not sure which I prefer actually. I prefer the Mini. And maybe not in terms of sound, but I mean, if I had to choose one of these, for practicing purposes, the Mini, for me, is unbeatable. I like the Spark Go, but this sounds so much better and it's extremely portable. Well, the Spark Go is extremely portable, but I didn't think that sounded quite as good. The Spark 2, well, it has a strap so you can carry it around, but it's a bit big in terms of portability. But if you're just gonna have it at home, I mean, great stuff. It does come with the option to buy a battery which will give it 8 hours of life without being connected anywhere, which, so I guess you could gig with it, but it isn't terribly loud, so I don't know if I would gig with it. Probably wouldn't. But then again, it's compatible with all the other Spark products, so you can hook it up to a Spark cab and gig with it. What I would like Positive Grid to do, and I will suggest this to them, is make this in some kind of pedal format. That would be really interesting. But yeah, I think the Spark 2 is absolutely great. And it is an upgrade on the previous one, especially if you want loopers and that kind of stuff. In terms of sound, I don't have the Spark 1 here, the amp, so I'm not sure. There's not a huge, I mean, there are differences in terms of sound between these two, but that's just because of size, so I'm not going to say too much. It's interesting that they can add new amps and new pedals and all that. I mean, yeah. I think if you're looking for portability, get the Spark Mini. If you want something slightly bigger, then the Spark 2 is definitely something to look at. If you want to get the Spark 2, there is a link in the description. That's an affiliate link where if you buy something that way, you support the channel at no extra cost to you. If you want to watch a video of the top 10 practice amps in the world, in my opinion, that video is here. I hope you have some use of this video, and I hope you have a nice day. Take care. See you. Goodbye.